Greetings, this is Sir J. I want to thank you for watching and welcome you to the first of what I hope to be many video blogs that I'm going to be putting on MySpace. My intent for making these blogs is to put information out there to support people in their venture into the BDSM and leather scene and community. It's something that I have found to be very important to me. And through my work with some organizations such as the Eulenspiegel Society in New York City, the National Coalition for Sexual Freedom, and a New England-based organization called the New England Leather Association, I've found a lot of personal reward in helping people get involved in the scene, getting personally and directly involved with the scene, and helping some newer people make that jump from psychological and fantasy delvings into real-life encounters in the scene. Recently, through a club in New York City here called Paddles, I've been able to help do that and help introduce some people. I found it really rewarding and educational for me as well to teach and to get feedback from people as I'm trying to impart the knowledge that I've acquired over the last few years to them and to help them learn and help myself learn more in the process. What I encourage people to do is to write to me and ask me questions if you want to know anything about BDSM, the leather scene, sadism and masochism, things of that nature. Write to me and ask me whatever you'd like to know, and I'll see if I can help you and if I can find the answers and put them here in these video blogs. Like I said, it's something that I find personally very rewarding and something that I would like to help impart to other people. I would like to speak about a few things to that end. When I give advice or when I'm asked how to perform a technical function such as how to use a flogger or how to properly spank somebody or paddle them or the proper decorum for submissive to use towards a dominant or dominant towards another dominant or a submissive, what I find is that I like to tell people the things that I advise are how I feel, and they are how I do things. I don't like to sound like I'm speaking in absolutes, and I've found that there are a lot of people who are instructing others who try to make things sound like they are speaking in absolutes, and the way that they do things is the only way to do them. I believe in learning everything, finding out as much information as you can, and use what works for you. Some things will work better for me that might not work well for you, and vice versa. And that's fine, and actually that's wonderful. That brings different people and different experiences to the scene, and that's what everybody needs. So when you ask me something, and again, I encourage everybody to ask me any questions they have, keep that in mind. Take what I say as my opinion. And if you like what I have to say, then use that advice. If not, use it as something that you don't particularly like. I also want to mention that I am a big proponent of the safe, sane, and consensual, or some people refer to it as RAC credo, which is risk-aware consensual kink. What that means is that I believe whatever consenting adults who are aware of their actions and who know the risks of the behaviors that they're involved in decide to do is fine. That is completely up to them. I don't believe in things such as government involvement in people's sexuality or other people's involvement in consenting adult sexuality. Sure, things like a club might have restrictions on what behaviors they'll allow, and that's a legal matter. But whatever people decide to eventually go to on their own, however deep they decide their relationship to go, how broad they decide to expand the horizons of polyamory or whatever other issues they decide to get into, are their choices. Again, when I answer questions, I will be answering from my perspective. I am a monogamy-minded person. I have one person who is my submissive and who is my pet, and I love her very dearly, and that's what works for us. But I have a lot of friends who are into poly and who are quite open about being sexual with other people, and that's wonderful for them. And I have knowledge in that area, even though it's not something that I personally partake in. But as I said, I want people to ask me questions, and I encourage you to, or even just write and say hello, and tell me if you think you have a good idea for something I could address here. Until next time, be well, and I will see you then.